here at the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. I am CyberKnight77.
I'm Dutch Muso.
And we're here to bring you Gavra Racing's coverage here of these cars at an interesting and historic track in racing history. So then, last week out at Oulton Park, it was nothing but rain as our drivers took on the treacherous conditions, but here it's all desert. Well, not so much desert, but dirt, really. I mean, would we even call it a desert?
Sort of a more savanna type place.
Well, we'll just call it dirt. There's dirt all around here at Laguna Seca, and as you can clearly see by the track, there is absolutely zero runoff.
But I think that will definitely make for a little bit more interesting racing, because people have to be a bit more careful then, because just a dive bomb into a corner could definitely lead to you losing some places then.
Indeed, indeed. So, some interesting things about Laguna Seca. It does have the famous corkscrew corner up there at the top of the hill, and will we expect it to catch out some of the drivers here today?
Yeah, I think it'll definitely catch out a couple people, on the braking, getting a little bit wrong. People don't have ABS, so if you brake at exactly the wrong angle, you'll shoot off on the left side, or you'll hit the wall on the right side. So.
Right. As you can see, the car kind of bounces a little bit because these radical cars are mostly very light, although we don't expect any cars to go flying today, God willing. So, with that, we should expect times in the rough 134 region today, and Hondax will be looking to take even more championship points, as he is currently in title battle with Noyens as we speak.
Yes, he's only Noyens is only 10 points behind, and behind him, I believe it's Kev, who's only 2 points behind.
Yeah, right.
The top three quite close to each other.
ESR Chef, I believe, is here subbing for one of the drivers here, because I believe Noyens isn't here today. So
I can't see him, so.
Yeah, if you can correct me, Chef might be his replacement there. Endex also not here. He's also high up in the championship standings, as well as Kev Sanel, who currently sits third in practice. He sits the farthest behind, around 4th in the championship, if I'm correct. So he'll be looking to hopefully gain some points here.
I'm seeing a couple newer names that I haven't seen much before.
Yeah, there's a lot of subs here actually. Chef, he was in BMW. No, not BMW. It's on top of my head. It was a BMW. It was just this week. God, my short-term memory really is that bad. Either way, we'll update you on all the drivers, regardless here or not, because they'll still be able to provide a great race here. But other than that, hopefully we'll see a lot less spins and more drivers keeping it on the track, although you can clearly see that the curves are very spread very much thin around this track.
I think this will make side-by-side racing a little bit harder, because you have to give each other a lot more space here. Going on the dirt really isn't an option. It will suck you off.
Right. Now, I don't know if you've had experience racing here, but, being an American driver, of course I've raced here at Laguna Seca. It's a fun track. It's definitely boring to look at, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more fun, I find, the smaller cars. They just, within the corkscrew, they just dance through there quite nice and neatly. Slimline actually being quite far up on the times sheet. So
Right.
it's Kieran 1.
Right. Well, hello to everyone joining us here. Hello to Index in the chat. And, oh, well, there's Index. I was just talking about him. I hope he doesn't take what I said to heart. But, yeah. This is only just practice right now. Currently, Chef is the fastest on track. He sets a time in the 1:23, surprisingly. So, it's probably the most comfortable so far.
Yeah, we could definitely maybe see some good performances coming from these subs. I'm quickly gonna go downstairs and maybe slim sign.
Right. Kieran 1 also currently second. Oh, he's just, well, I was gonna say that's, the Alien who goes first with the 1:23.7. Kieran falls the third, 1:24.5. And then Slim Sign in fourth is the 1:25. So pretty spread out field so far. With just 2 minutes to go here. With Slim Sign across the line. He does go a little bit faster, but still in the 1:25s for Slim Sign. So, as the rest of the drivers finish up their practice lap times, Marcos, Jukebox having incidents on their laps, only setting time in the 1:40s. Peter Bibb currently the 1:27th, he's in 7th place. Mike only 9th with the 1:38, so a lot of the trickier parts of this track catching drivers out. And oh, Marcos actually goes 4th there, 1:25.1. So Capsonel drops to 6th. Oh, and that Slim Sign just a round off of the blind left, and he is in the wall. And back into the pits he goes. So unfortunate for him, he was on a really fast lap. But as I'll try to find the rest of the point standings here. Okay, here we go. So, Hondax is currently... Yeah, I was just going through the point standings. So Hondax currently is your leader with 88 points. Then from Noyens it's 78 points. And Kevsonel actually is third with 75 points. It's Index in fourth with 72 points. And Razy to round out your top 5 with 54 points. So, the one who most likely needs to gain the most from this race is Hondax and Razy, considering Noyens isn't here. And so Kevsonel will be the next major challenger.
Do subs get the driver's points or what then?
Yes, subs get half of the driver's points. Although, I think Chef, I forget who Chef is subbing for. That's one on me. I don't currently remember who he's subbing for. Slim Sign is also a sub here today. So we'll have to keep our eyes on them.
Because we know Noyens isn't in, but who else is in? We know...
Yeah, Hondax isn't here.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to make this race. So, we'll definitely have a different mixed up grid here. Definitely going to be a lot of faces in different places. But the races will still go on nonetheless.
This practice is complete now.
Right.
Quite a while ago.
Marcos and Jukebox coming across the line right now. Marcos actually does go the fastest of all with the 1:23.7, and Mike, he goes 8th fastest just at the depth there. And so there you have it, your top 3. Marcos, Elliott, and Chef to round out the top 3. And judging from the paint schemes, I believe Chef is subbing for Hondax, and Slipsign is subbing for Noyens.
So we could see a bit of competition between these two as these two have to make it happen.
Right. But currently it is Marco standing at the very top. I forget who Marcos is subbing for. Let's see here.
Subbing? Is he in the league?
I don't see him on the point standings. I'm pretty sure this is Marcos's first race. Is it? Oh no, Marcos is subbing for Index, isn't he?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely positive considering Index's reaction.
Both of them.
That Marcos is subbing for Index.
Ah, okay.
In fact, how the heck did I not put two and two together? They both have HLB. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should already know these freaking driver affiliations. I've been racing around them for how many years? Alright, so I'm pretty sure I got it correct. It's Marco subbing in for Index, Slimsign subbing in for Noyens, and Chef subbing in for Hondax today. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Send the 463 is gonna actually we can choose a driver of the day again.
Sure, why
Remember
not?
at the end we'll do it.
Oh, remember. Oh, let's get the map and the driver stuff on screen. There we go. But yes, we are now in the midst of qualifying here at Mazda Raceway, and so we'll see how these drivers fare in the 10 minutes they have to not really duel in the desert, but duel in the dirt. But then again, these aren't rally cars, so I don't know what you want to call it. It's not grass, it's not dirt. Is it mud?
Well, it's not raining, so...
So then what is it? I don't know what to call it. It's not dirt and it's not grass.
Well, I mean, it's sand. Yeah, that's what it is.
But this isn't the desert.
No, it's a savanna. In savannas you find sand. It's sand.
That's weird.
Mother Nature be crazy that way.
I don't know, maybe a science expert out there can explain to me how this works.
Any geologists out there?
But either way, qualifying continues, and if I'm correct, that might be Slimsign just behind Razy, either Slimsign or Mike, I believe. Oh. No, not Mike. God, the paint schemes are so similar. There's a white car there. I want to say it was Kepsinel, maybe.
You can really just see how blind the corkscrew is.
Indeed.
Where is he? Yeah, it is.
Oh, Kepsinel! Just there in front of the rest. Spins it there off the corkscrew turn. So that'll be a lap invalidated from him. Have to be careful coming back on the track.
That was quite perfect timing, actually.
But as the times start coming in, it is Chef setting a 123.2. Then Alien with the 126. Slimsign goes third, 127. Mike 128. So the early time setter Joe falling down to 9th. He's only been able to set a time in the 140 so far. Kepsinel obviously had his issues, so he will look to go around again. Razy only 8th with the 129. Kieran 1 going 6 now with the 128.3. And then Manic, Marcos, and Jukebox still left to make times. I believe Manic has a penalty of some sorts preventing him from early qualifying. And we'll see. Ooh, as Kepsinel goes off once again. We should probably get the camera away from him to stop giving him bad luck. This is Alien, who's shown some really good pace in the past couple of weeks. He might be one of the favorites here at Laguna Seca, but he just needs to finish the whole deal. He was pretty strong at a Brands Hatch, just kind of wasn't the most consistent. So he'll come across the line with just 5 minutes to go. And he improves his time, but stays third with the 124. So Brazy goes up in the fifth with a 125.3, and then immediately gets pipped by Marcos and Kieran 1, who both go second and third. Jukebox 10th with 127, and Kevsonell finally makes a time, but it's still slower than everybody else. Mike falling down to 12th with the 128, and now Manic will be out to make his lap time.
The time of Kev was where he went off, he didn't spin, but yeah, he went wide. Like that.
Kieran 1, yeah. He's up by 2 hundredths, but that might be taken away there, as he's got another group of cars just in front of him. I think that's Joe and one of the other white cars. There aren't very many diverse paint schemes. I feel this is the problem in GT1 as well.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's a game like this where you can't really make your own. Can be a bit irritating sometimes.
Kieran 1 is still on his lap. Ooh, and a car just there at the corkscrew. I mean, it might have just been getting out of the way, but Kieran 1 is still on his lap, so it seems like they allowed it even with this time penalty. Or not time penalty, track extending.
And Kieran 1 gets ahead of them again.
Yeah, he's now into second ahead of Alien, still 7 tenths off of Chef. Joe goes 7th with the 126, then immediately gets pipped by Kevin with the 126 flat. Joe might be calling it in for the day. Toby goes 10th, 126.6. And then Toby goes up to 7th there with a 125.5. So, very, very frantic qualifying session. Jukebox only, well, he was 10th, now he's 11th with a 127.9. Manic looks like he's going to come across the line right now to make his first lap. So we'll see where he gets placed.
Mark goes into second now.
Right, Marcos goes to second. And looks like Manic still not able to set a time, so I think his time was invalidated. Peter Bibb now in as well, only going 10th. This is Manic. He, I believe, had a qualifying penalty, so couldn't start until the 5-minute mark.
That doesn't really only leave him enough time for 2 runs if he's quick. So.
Right. Although didn't really get the first run in because it didn't count. So this will likely be one of his first and probably last attempt. He goes really well around the corkscrew, has to make sure to keep it inside and on the curb. He's done that much.
That's really, just don't spin at this last corner in the exit.
Manages to do that, so Manic across the line for his first lap. Where will it put him? Only 12. It's kind of shocking. Thought he had a little bit more pace than that.
He's still got 1, maybe 2 laps.
I think this might be a last lap. He cut it really close at around the 124 mark. If he only went 127, well, I think it's going to be cutting it very close. Yeah, that's it might be Jukebox there. Or no, not Jukebox. Toby. But had the team right there. But
there are actually 4 people at the last corner now, all right behind each other.
Right. So there'll be a slew of times coming in right now, so we'll read them off as fast as they appear. Crazy looks like to cut it quits, so I believe he was in one of those groups.
Nobody can see me. Let's go quicker.
Oh, the car off, or not off maybe, just getting out of the way. Dramatic, he's a full second up on his time. That will still keep him in 11th.
As Chef goes quicker.
Yeah, Chef still in the 123s, but does a 123 flat. Marco's still in second. Alien looks like he might. Well, he's coming across the final sector now. So where will he finish in? I don't think he's on a faster lap though. So Alien will be across the line. He goes a little bit faster, but not enough to go faster than Marcos. Toby, he's coming through there right now. Looks like he's on one of his last lap. Runs a little bit wide. So he, Kev Sinel, and Manic, I believe, are still on laps, as well as Jukebox Hero. Kev Sinel only 8th, looking to improve his standing. Only 7th in front of Toby. Ooh, and Toby just kind of cutting the corkscrew there, that's just a little bit. Mike goes 8th.
Because of the nature of how the corkscrew goes cutting, it doesn't get you.
Oh, that's Toby. Yeah, just got it all wrong. And at the depths, Manic, I believe, went 9th. Or 8th. So, the super sub ESR Chef does it with a 123 flat, followed by Marcos in 2nd place, then the Alien in 3rd place, followed by Kieran 1, Razy, Slim Sign, Kev Sinel, Manic, Mike, and Toby round off your top 10. So a very, very frantic qualifying session, but the race is still yet to come. So, what do you think's gonna be looking for the prospect?
I think we might see something go down first corner because, you know, it's quite a wide part of the track. So we could see people doing dives on each other, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Thank you for all those joining us in the chat. If you have a driver you want to shout out, or you just want to support us here in the booth, you feel to comment under the Gavra Racing stream as we stand. So we'll run down the grid order as it stands. It is the Super Sub ESR Chef coming in and stealing pole right off the bat. Then we have Marcos subbing in for Endex, the Super Sub himself. Then the Alien looking to score some more points, making up for Brands Hatch. Followed by Kieran 1, putting in a really good qualifying session. Let's see if he can keep it up. Razy, been pretty standard qualifying effort for him. We'll see where it gets him today. Slim Sign also looking to make up some decent points after Brands Hatch. Kev Sinel with a decent effort in qualifying, although I think he's further back than he would like. Manic and Mike definitely farther back than they would like. They line the grid in 8th and 9th. Toby starting in 10th, hopefully looking to make up for his mistakes from today's qualifying and last week. Then Joe Black starting in 11th, pretty far back down the grid, although he did pretty well at Brands Hatch. We'll see what happens today. Peter Bibb will start 12th, also looking to make up points. And then Jukebox Hero rounds out 13th and the last row of the grid.
I think for Kev Sinel, this will definitely be quite a frustrating qualifying because, you know, he's obviously needing these points.
Right.
That far back can be a bit of a blow to your morale.
Right, Kev Sinel has to beat Marcos and ESR Chef here today as they both sub for his championship rivals Noyens and Endex, as well as Hondax as well, with Slim Sign, and all three of them start ahead of him.
This is quite a nice thing that he has now because they're subs. They only get half the points.
Well, let's see. All the pressure's on Kev Sinel. What can he do today? Or will the Super Sub steal the show? We head to 4 red lights here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. And we are a go. ESR Chef, Marcos, and the Alien get off a decent line at the start. Razy gets up into 7th there. Kev Sinel also getting a really good start. There's contact there as Kev Sinel barges his way past Marcos there, heading into the first turn. And behind them, Slim Sign also looking for a move. Kieran 1 manages to stay in 4th as it stands. Everyone gets through the first turn really nicely. And Kev Sinel slots in behind Marcos, although under pressure from Kieran 1, who has Slim Sign behind him, as well as Manic. Razy drops down to 8th. And so as they go through the 3rd turn, that is Marcos off. Marcos is off, just off of the 3rd turn, and right there in the background, that's Mike also off, so he loses all the spots he just gained. Marcos is down to 5th place. Kev Sinel is up to 3rd, so he's doing exactly what he needs to do. That's Manic there up into 7th after his efforts. Alien a little bit on the grass. And now it is ESR Chef gaining a lot of distance from the Alien, who now has Kev Sinel behind him. He's followed by Kieran 1 and Marcos. Slim Sign now manning the 2nd head of the group ahead of Manic. And then Razy Real looking for a little bit of a move on him.
Everyone's still really close to each other except for Chef.
Right, there's Joe Black going for a move on Toby, and he gets the job done. He is in the 9th place. Razy Real ahead of his teammate Joe Black there. So, just ahead of that. That's Slim Sign manning this 2nd group, holding off Manic. And just ahead of Slim Sign, that's Marcos looking to get back at Kieran 1. Let's head down into turn 1 for the 2nd time today. Kieran 1 pressuring on Kev Sinel just a little bit. He runs wide. Kieran 1 looking for a move around the outside. Can't get it done.
Kieran 1's actually in quite a bad position now because he's getting attacked from behind, then he has to sort of get past Kev.
Right. Ooh, Marcos off again. It's the 2nd time, and behind them, Slim Sign also getting, or not Slim Sign, Razy. Razy has lost a lot of spots. He's down to 10th.
Wait, Kev's lost position to Kieran.
Yeah, Kev Sinel also ran wide as well. So Kev runs again off the blind left. So a lot of drivers running wide. Kev Sinel blocks to the inside. That allows Marcos to the outside. Can he do it off the corkscrew corner? They keep it clean. Kev Sinel does keep him back a little bit, but that Slim Sign, does he look to the inside? No. Marcos looks once more on the inside of Kev Sinel. Can't get it done. And that Slim Sign looking for a move, or not Slim Sign, Manic. Manic for a move on Marcos. Marcos goes very deep, pushes Manic out, and that allows Slim Sign through for 5th. Oh, and that's Manic. Manic is in the wall.
Oh, he's falling too quick. Yeah, I think the stewards will definitely have something to say about that, because that was very aggressive from
yeah, Marcos, either he locked up or went very deep to prevent Manic from getting around. And Manic on the edge of the curb there. Just put too much power in, as Peter Bibb now into the pits for not a great start from him. And then Manic and Mike both having really rough starts. Kev Sinel getting pretty loose there off the corner. And this is Joe Black ahead of Razy. So Razy went from, I believe, from 7th all the way down to 10th. He's now back up into 9th, trying to get past his teammate Joe Black. Joe Black, he got past Toby, but Toby was able to pick up the pace and get past him. So it's all to play for here. It's Joe Black looking for a move. Toby blocks the inside, although Razy might be looking for the outside. Small lockup from Toby there. Razy definitely has nowhere to go here. Oh, and just ahead of them, that's Slim Sign, I believe, off, as that's Mark or Joe Black and Toby. There was a car ahead of this group that slowed everybody down. Or was it Kev Sinel? Because he's down into 6th. Yeah, Kev Sinel. He had spun off ahead of this group, and that slowed everyone down. So now Razy looking on his teammate Joe as Toby falls down to 9th. Toby does indeed lose 8th place. He looks around the outside though from Razy Real, and look at Mike. He's lurking there in the distance. So Kev Sinel, he was up at the front, although I believe a small incident has brought him back and behind Marcos once again. That Slim Sign up into 4th place. Yeah, Toby. So very, very hectic start from all of our main competitors. But just up front, it is the Super Sub ESR Chef holding his own, currently getting away from this pack. Alien is holding his own in 2nd right now, so really good from here. And Kieran 1 also doing really well here. Then you have this secondary pack led by Slim Sign. And we'll see how this goes forth.
A little bit wide there, get some dust there.
So, Manic, after that heavy impact with the wall, I believe has decided not to pit. So, as I say that as he goes to the pits. So I believe the damage might just be too much there for him, which is unfortunate there. But as the battle rages on, Razy still, this is a really good showing from Joe, putting up a fight against his teammate who has been able to best him in all the races so far this season, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So Joe holding his own in 7th place, doing a really good job. Kev Sinel, he's closing up a little bit to Marcos, but is not close enough to mount any sort of charge. Joe really slow off the blind left. That'll open up the door. Yeah, that was Razy. Razy goes around the outside, so Razy up into 7th place. But actually, Kev Sinel is closer to Marcos than we thought when you actually switch to him, because he was a little bit further back.
He's not within a second.
Hello to XNattyG in the comments, and as the race continues on here, Slim Sign, that's actually the person ahead of Marcos here, might be able to hold up Marcos just a little bit. Slim Sign being the replacement teammate for Kev Sinel this weekend.
It is a bit curious what they're going to do in terms of team orders, but you know, I don't think because Cassie is still in the championship fight, so I don't see any reason why they'd be playing team orders.
Right. That Marcos, that's off. Marcos is off. No, Marcos is a very... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Just gonna say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, he went dirt tracking it there, and now falls himself into the clutches of Razy, who's finally been able to put a pep in his step after getting around Joe. So Razy looking very fast. It's Marcos getting it just a little bit wrong there.
So, you know, getting it on the dust here will make it tight, just a little bit dirty. You will have to write that off.
Yeah, definitely.
Slower.
So with that, Kev is released into 5th place, so now he's got to find a way to deal with his teammate. As things now, Kev will pass Noyens in the championship, but also as things stand, he won't really be able to gain on Hondax and Endex. Or actually no, Marcos is Endex's replacement, so he will gain on Endex, but he won't likely gain on Hondax.
Let me just quickly check the boxes. I think he might just about equal out then.
Yeah, it'll be just about equal. But right now, Razy's still kind of holding on to the back of Marcos, not letting him go that easily. But Marcos is pretty quick. I suspect he might be able to catch back up not too long from now if he continues on with his pace. Although Marcos is definitely driving on the limit today. One would even say he's in the danger zone.
But I was just checking now what points things you get. So Kevs would get 15 points, but that is the same as what Chef would get. So they have exactly the same points after this race. If Kevs doesn't gain or lose.
Who do I think is going to win? Well, so far it seems like Chef has been walking away with this race, so it'd be dumb not to put your money on him. However, there's still 50 minutes to go, so anything is still possible.
I mean, you know, we've seen it with Hondas where, you know, you comfortably in the lead and then a small mistake, you have to pit and your race ruined then.
Well, Marcos is getting the fan boost right now. Index is cheering you on, mate, so you gotta perform well. Although we can't really play favorites because then we just end up bringing the commentary's curse on them. I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong, yeah. How many times have we already seen that? We talk really good about Kevs and then he spins out at the circuit.
Right, so... Oh, speaking of Kev, he's right there. He just got passed by Marcos.
Aw, this is making good progress this time.
He was, but now I think a mistake has brought him back and Marcos has now overtaken him, so the pressure is cooking. But will Kevsonel make a move on Marcos? Likely not. Small lockup there, but nothing too major.
I mean, if Racing can just keep it on the track, make sure that he doesn't go off anymore, he could actually have quite a good race.
Right. Arazi always has pretty good long-run pace. He just always finds himself mired in traffic, or not so good qualifying as Kev, just runs a little bit wide. Finds himself much more susceptible to Arazi. Marcos is getting away now. Arazi might be getting a little bit held up, because I believe Arazi and Marcos have just about similar pace.
Oversteer there on the exit.
Yeah, it's very difficult in these cars to judge the limits, and the track isn't very wide despite how it looks. It actually narrows up in quite a lot of places.
But I mean, with the circuit, if you really want to maximize your lap times, you can only really use about 50% of the width. You'll either be on the right side or the left side. You're never really in the middle. So
yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, that's what I want to say.
Alien, well, to go back to him and Kieran 1 have been setting relatively identical lap times, but Kieran 1 might be starting to find just that extra couple miles he needs to catch up. He's now just under a second from Alien. So
it's actually quite interesting to me because look at everyone's sort of sitting 26s, 27s, but ESR is actually the only one really going under that. So I think, I don't know if this is by strategy or just by, this is the maximum they can drive.
Right.
But, if these guys are saving tires and ESR is sort of just driving his heart out now because he knows he has to pit the tire.
Well,
that's the case.
Marcos is falling a little bit closer to Kev. He's not too far back now. But you say on that, but Marcos and Kevsonel have quite a lot more fuel than Alien does, so these guys might be looking to go longer into the run.
Yeah.
But do you want to take tires? That is the question. The rears are getting really destroyed here in some of these low-speed corners, but it just depends on if you feel you can make up that time. We obviously saw it. If you watched the GT1 race, tires played a major factor with the fall-off rate there. Not quite the same with these Radical cars, considering they can drive for quite a long time before they start having wear. Just depends on if the driver is comfortable or not.
But I mean, something that you will often find is that your rear tires actually they degrade a lot slower than your front tires, but they will heat up. So if they get too hot, then you will start to slip and slide a little bit more.
Right, right.
But that won't be to where they'll be much more down to temperature.
Kev is slowly making progress back to Marcos. So he might be able to catch him soon enough.
The Alien are actually breaking that 25.
Yeah, Alien's starting to pick it up just a little bit. Kev getting really close to Marcos. You can just see how much later on the brake Kev is compared to Marcos there. Marcos has been locking up quite a bit, actually. So I wonder if that might just be a little bit of uneven brake bias there on the car. Because he locks up there.
He's trying to brake that little bit later than Kev. And you have to brake harder as well. That will make you lock up more.
Yeah, that's why Marcos always takes tires when he pits. He's always locking up the car.
See right there again.
Who is Kev really close, looking for a move. Marcos blocks to the inside. He said, "No, son, you're gonna have to go around the outside."
That was a very good move from that is completely allowed. Was one move for the corner.
Ooh, Kev looks to the outside this time around. Marcos has no choice but to let him have it around the outside. So this is for 5th place. How much space will Marcos give him? And now they run slightly side by side. They're practically touching each other going into the left. They get through really good.
This is really going to be Kev's best chance.
Ooh, Kev looking on the inside going into the corkscrew. Marcos just a small tap that upsets Kev Sinel's car. Just barely gets it slowed down. Marcos loose off the corkscrew, comes back to block Kev. And Kev, I believe, just a little bit startled. And Marcos is off. And back around the outside. Sorry.
Have a bit of something to say about that move.
And here comes Razy up to the inside looking, and he backs out of it.
But yeah, the should definitely have something to say about that move from Mark, because that was sort of a little bit of last minute braking, last minute moving. And you have to give Kevin the space to be able to go down the inside if he is already there. So.
Right, that might have looked a little bit worse from our point of view. I'm sure it definitely seemed a lot better to Marcos, but I wouldn't say the same for Kev, as now pretty sure he's looking for any way around if possible. Marcos definitely kind of either struggling on braking or on corner exit. Oh, he's right there. Speaking of corner exit, he gets on the curb, and now he could lose even 7th to Razy. And that is Kev Sinel up into 5th place. It's a very, very close call there for Marcos to keep it on track. And right there in the background, that's Joe Black. He's having a really good day. He might even bring himself into this fight not too long.
That is sort of the problem with these guys. They're all fighting it away. Just allowing things. So yeah, somebody went off there. They are letting people behind them catch up. And they are letting people in front of them drive away. There's a bit of a thing of, do they keep fighting or do they just let it go now?
Right. This is the closest battle on track, although if you're wondering what's happening on the back, it's Petabib and Manic going at it for 12th as well as this battle for 7th. And Manic does indeed get around Petabib. And meanwhile, just up ahead, it's the battle for 6th place as Kev is looking to maybe get away.
The person who will be most frustrated out of all this fighting will be Razy. So he has got the pace over Mark, but he just, that pace is so close now.
Oh, and here comes Marcos. He thought about it up on Kev Sinel, who looked really slow. But
that might have actually been a bit more of a strategic thing, because he knew Mark would then go for it.
But then Razy, Marcos had to give Race a little bit of space, didn't really take the left-hander as well as he thought he could. So Kev and Marcos both kind of bring each other back into these fights with their small mistakes. Kieran won.
He's close to Alien now.
Yeah, he's hovered around the 1 second mark just the entirety of the race. He continues to try and break that gap just a little bit.
Still on the penalties, which I'm pretty surprised of.
Yeah, the track limits aren't too harsh around here. They're only really harsh in 2 specific areas, namely either the left-hander, but you lose so much speed going off of the dirt anyways that it cancels itself out, and then sometimes the corkscrew if you take too much. But as the action starts to die down just a little bit as we get past the 20-minute mark, now we'll have to start thinking about pit stops and how these guys factor into it. Ooh, as Marcos takes a little bit too much of the inside, that might be his first corner cut.
But a little bit too much of the good.
But Kev's now definitely looking a little bit weaker in there. Marcos is giving back that time, looking to at least keep Razy at bay. See, Marcos will be able to get away with that. It's all fair until you take too many track limits.
But Razy actually having really good race here.
Speaking of that, Joe Black is just behind this group, so this has turned into a 5-way fight for 5th.
You see, fights. Kieran is now right behind Alien.
Right, Kieran has been slowly reaching that gap to Alien. Slim Sign has been setting consistent times, but he fell back off of this pack as well. So you have this, the battle between Alien and Kieran 1 for 2nd place, and the battle for 5th between Kev Sinel, Marcos, Razy, and Joe Black coming through turn 5 right now. Yeah, Alien very defensive.
Kieran really just looking for any possible spots for later on, maybe.
Ooh, Razy and Marcos very close together, and there's a car off. That's Marcos. Marcos is off, and Joe now very close to Razy. Will he make a move on his teammate? No, decides better of it. They were very close to each other, and I believe Marcos went off there. Not sure if there was contact, but now
I think the way he went on suggests that he got a little bit of spin on the corkscrew and sort of spun off to the right there.
So now Kev Sinel is finally relieved a little bit of pressure, but now Razy is heading steep front there, try and catch up. And meanwhile, Alien and Kieran 1 still going at it for 2nd place.
Kieran 1 is in a pretty good position now. You know, you can just keep following Alien because Alien seems to be riding his same pace.
Indeed.
If you can just keep holding this pace, then they'll pit at roughly the same time, and they've had to continue off the pit base.
Marcos is a little bit under pressure from Toby, but I believe he'll be able to keep him at bay for a little while longer as he tries to catch back up to the 3 ahead of him. Quite a bit closer to Cavs. Right, and if Alien and Kieran start fighting, this could bring Slim Sign into it. He's faster than both of these guys right now. So Slim, one of our super subs here, could bring himself into this fight not too many laps from now. Alien is pretty mired deep in the points, but this could be a really good, as I say that.
Wait, Kev made a mistake. He's now behind Razy Joe.
Oh yeah, you're right. So Kev, either a mistake in the last sector or off the final corner, he now finds himself behind Joe and Razy, who now are 5th and 6th.
You sort of have what I said, where Razy and Joe just sort of keeping it on the track, but getting those free positions.
And now Toby's fallen off of Marcos and now is fallen into the clutches of Jukebox. So a lot of people falling off battles and then falling into other battles. This is Peter Bibb with Manic just in front of him. Manic was chasing Mike, although he fell off of that battle and now finds himself susceptible to Peter Bibb. So Mike and Manic probably one of the bigger losers from this race should things stay 4th. But back to the first thing I was going to say between Alien and Kieran 1. I was going to give some praise to Alien, but then he ran wide, so I better stop talking.
But it's definitely surprising, to me at least, how many sort of small mistakes these guys are making, and then, but just how big the consequences are for it at this track.
Right. Toby and Jukebox now the closest they've ever been together on track. Jukebox might be looking to get a run as Alien runs wide just as we cut away from it. And now Kieran 1 does in fact get ahead of him for 2nd place.
But now, can Kieran hold the pressure?
And Slimstime...
Alien doing pretty well, but...
Oh, Alien! Well, you want to keep talking there? I was going to say Slimstime fell away, but now he's right back. So guess who's back? Back again. So now, Slimstime is now in the battle for 3rd place as he's caught back up to Alien, who had a couple of incidents in a row there. So the action is very much non-stop here as Kev Zanel makes his way back up to Joe. And Marcos...
Mike is in the pits.
Yeah, Mike in the pits, so he'll definitely be trying to get ahead of Peter Bibb once he comes out. But Marcos not able to make up the time that he was earlier in the stint. Kev Zanel actually is able to make up the time. He's now chasing after Joe in 6th place. You can see Razy just up the road there.
But I mean, from Kev's not definitely to expect this many mistakes. He has sort of continuously kept making mistakes that does lose him a lot of time.
Right, well, a lot of it is just due to car handling. These aren't the easiest cars to drive in the world, so I respect all the courage to drive something like this really quickly.
Yeah, definitely these cars. There's no F1 car where the downforce is almost infinite, but yeah, these guys have been driving a couple races now with these cars. Kev's not definitely one of the championship competitors at this moment.
Oh, Kev Zanel. Oh no, he looked like he was gonna drive it right into the outside wall, but kept it together. You were gonna jinx him there again. Ooh, Joe.
Joe takes it a little bit.
Yeah. Might have a corner cutting penalty, and now Kev Zanel looking to the outside. Ooh, a little close, but Joe keeps it around. Joe might have had a time penalty that he had to get back there. So now takes it inside the block. Kev looking for a little bit of a switchback. Maybe on the run to turn 1. Kev with the overspeed. Where does he want to go? Where does Joe look to block? Joe looks to the inside. Kev not quite able. He does in fact look to switch back, but Joe just cuts him off there.
Great defensive driver from Joe, just holding his line there.
Toby is also in, so he's released the place to Jukebox Hero, who was chasing him down.
I must say, Toby is doing some great defensive work. He's not really doing anything weird or so. Definitely being a bit of a thorn in Kev's side right now.
You mean
He's
Joe?
actually really helping his teammate. Oh, yeah, Joe's right.
Yeah, Razy. Oh, Kev looking around the outside, and he does get it.
But now, can Joe fight back now?
Not quite. It looks like Kev will, in fact, keep the place. So Kev's now back into 6th place.
Should keep him now right behind Manic.
Right, battle for 11th place, although I believe Manic hasn't pitted yet, if I'm correct. But Joe is in the pits now.
Actually, do you want to check if he goes for tires? No, no tires. Okay. That is a bit interesting.
Slim sign falling away from Alien, so Ian looks to be picking up pace just a little bit. This is your race leader, Chef. He has quite a lot, not too much fuel, so when will he come into the pits?
Let's get the calculator out. Just have to find the calculator first.
Oh, yeah, Manic did need to pit, so I was right.
Okay. So, let's just see what its average fuel usage is.
It's like 1 point something a lap, I'm sure. Maybe
about 2 maybe.
I mean, Chef has a pretty good lead, so even if he does take tires, I'm pretty sure he'll still come out fairly far ahead.
Because yeah, everyone else still has to pit then as well. But it is a bit of a question to get traffic.
Right.
So taking what, like 30 seconds to get fuel and tires. Okay, let's cross the line now. Let's see what fuel he has.
So Joe came out in 9th, so he's got to try to find a way to get past Jukebox, I believe, who hasn't also pitted yet. Jukebox and Marcos haven't pitted yet, so this will be interesting to see where they both come out relative to Joe. So I think they're faster than him.
Jukebox and Mark?
Yeah.
Because Jukebox is definitely going to lose the position. It's only 5 seconds behind. Mark? We'll have to see.
Okay. Meanwhile, Slim Sign still trying to put pressure on Alien, but still can't really get close to him like he would want to. Razy's kind of been able to pull to a gap of his own now as he sits in 5th place just behind these two. As Marcos is now in the pits, so we'll see where he comes out relative to Joe. This could be maybe the battle for 7th-ish. And indeed, Chef does come into the pits as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it 5.4. That's like 1.4 fuel usage.
Marcos is done and away, so will he come out ahead of Joe? No, he doesn't.
Let's see where all these other people come out though. Relative to Chef. Where Chef comes out relative to these guys.
Alright, looks like Chef only a gas and go for him, so no tires. Kieran 1 will take over the lead of the race for a little bit. But Marcos actually didn't come out too much farther away from Joe. He's just in front of him, so Joe will be susceptible for 8th place here once Jukebox pits.
Aliens as well now.
Right, Alien into the pits from second place, so he's on the clock now to beat Slim Science, guys. See if he takes...
Chef can do 23.5 more laps if we do. How much time is that?
Let's say probably only like maybe...
What, 8 seconds per lap? No,
probably 18 or so laps.
But, that's like 90 seconds per lap. I'm
Good.
sorry, 23.5. He can do that many seconds divided by 60. He can do 35 more minutes. So he's pretty good on.
Because the lap time is less than 90 seconds.
Yeah, but if he goes just a little bit slower, so he will actually. Yeah, let's say then that he goes 85. Then he can do 33.3 minutes, which is still more than enough.
Slim Sign is in, so he's responding to Alien. Alien only had a gas and go himself. Slim Sign, well, let's see how much he's going to take.
Kev's also in the pits now.
Alien's coming through the last sector now. We'll see if he'll be able to pass Slim Sign. I bet he'll get past Kev, but it's going to be really close. The battle for second place will happen in the pits. Slim Sign not off the jack yet. And he's still in there, so... Oh, there he goes. So...
where Joe comes out relative to...
Oh, Joe already did his pit stop.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, Marcos is catching him.
Kevin does seem to have a pretty solid 6th place now.
Jukebox is one of the few who hasn't pitted as well as Razy. And we thought Marcos was going to go longer, but he's coming for a shorter pit. So probably to get cleaner air, but now he's going to have to fight Joe for 8th place.
It's not a little too close yet.
So, Slim Sign hasn't come too far away from Alien, but he's definitely lost quite a bit of time. Ooh, to say that he just runs a little bit wide. Slim Sign has actually left himself susceptible to Kev Sanel there, as you saw there in the background.
Kev's actually got past Kieran 1 on track.
Yeah, Kieran 1 yet to pit. So,
Chef showing his pace here.
we don't believe Chef took new tires, considering his pit stop was pretty fast, so it was just general pace difference there.
You can already see now just a couple of points and he's already cleared the second.
Ooh, another one in the pits, that's Jukebox, so Joe released into 7th place. Jukebox was fighting with Toby, and Toby's right there, so Toby will get the 9th place there as well. Actually, Peterbim not too far from them as well, so he could lose 2 places in the pit stop cycle there. Jukebox is away now, but looks like maybe not in time, so Peterbim will get into 10th place. And that is Jukebox now down to 11th, so really slow cycle there for them. This is Marcos catching up. He's now caught Joe for 7th. And Kev is all on the back of Slim Sign there, as you just see. So 20 minutes remaining as that Slim Sign looking for a move, late braking there by the teammates.
Sort of rivalry. Details don't want to spin each other off.
Yeah, Slim Sign is subbing for Nguyen, so this is crucial points for Kev if he wants to beat him in the points. But Slim Sign doesn't want to lose too many points to Chef, who's got this race pretty much booked and done.
But it is sort of, if Slim Sign does let Kev's pass, then, the gap between Kev's and Honda stays the same. So beneficial for the team. But in terms of championship, driving championship.
Meanwhile, Joe and Marcos, they're really close together. Looks like Marcos is going to size up a move on Joe. Really close.
It was a bit dangerous from Joe doing it under braking, but
yeah, Joe maybe just losing a little bit of time after the pit stop cycle. Maybe just not the greatest on this second stint. He's looking very vulnerable to Marcos after catching up. Oh, and I was gonna say, but no, never mind. Marcos there with a mistake there is falling back from Joe, but Razy, who has yet to pit, so I'm curious, how much fuel does Razy have? It looked like he had quite a bit. 14 liters.
you can do about 10 more laps.
I wouldn't just say it wouldn't be too far-fetched for him to stretch this just a little bit. But we'll see.
He can actually do 14 minutes, so you might actually make a pit stop within like the last, 10 minutes if he drags us all the way.
I mean, pit stops aren't mandatory.
Well, no, he's not going to make it to the end, but unless he goes off the fuel.
I know, I just like to think that he can. I don't know. I like to think that the fuel tank is lying to me, but either way, the two major battles on track are between Slim Sign and Kev for 5th place, as well as Joe and Marcos for 7th place. Slim Sign also not looking very strong on the second stint. Kev definitely stepping up the gears a little bit. But the one benefactor of this is Alien, as he looks to maybe cycle into 3rd after all of this, but Kieran 1 will cycle into 2nd. As Kieran has yet to make a pit stop too, right?
Let's check. Yes, he does.
He's got a little bit less fuel than Razy.
But I'm curious now because for Razy to really make it all the way to the end, he does actually have to save. He has to have enough fuel that he can do 13 laps.
Slim Sign.
And then add, normal race pace, so.
Right, Slim Sign is the rest of the secondary drivers who have pitted, right? Slim Sign, he has pitted if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes, he has, so it's just curious if he'll be able to catch up to Razy and Alien. Or no, Razy and Kieran 1.
So, okay, at max what Razy can do if he wants to, not just go all the way to the end, he would have to drive for 130, and then he'd have to save up like 1 lap then.
Ooh, just ahead of them. I believe that's the lap car of, I forget who it was, but there was, Manic there. Just barely got out of the way in time for these two. And meanwhile, the battle still rages on between Joe and Marcos. Marcos yet to really make the overtake happen, although he's still close. Can make it happen. Just needs the speed to get it done. Curious, is Marcos gonna maybe look for a move on the inside, maybe? He's definitely a lot closer. Yeah, this fight.
I was way too interested in my calculator.
I don't know why I even try to calculate this. The drivers know their car better than we do.
Yeah, but it just helps us get a bit of an insight to what they're sort of planning.
Either way, 15 minutes remain on the clock. and not another lap passes by without Marcos driving in the dirt. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
he's just not focusing on consistency. He gets really good exit out of the
yeah, he looks up the inside, and Joe, he did a little bit of contact there. But
Joe didn't even know where to go, so.
Yeah, that was really close. Glad it didn't end in disaster there, but just about to say we have a third battle brewing between Peterbib and Jukebox. They're fighting for the 10th spot there. Jukebox had a pretty good run here to catch up.
Last 15 minutes.
From one American to another, I wish him the best in luck getting past Peterbib. I know we're not supposed to take favorites, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Oh, dude, then you clearly have not seen the Dutch F1 commentator. Anything happens to Max Verstappen, it's always oh my god.
Meanwhile, back with Marcos and Joe, because it's getting really close. Was it? Ooh, the contact there off the end of the corner. I don't think Joe meant to slow down like that, but Marcos didn't really have anywhere to go. Meanwhile, Razy has decided to pit, so Alien will move into third place, and he might even come out behind Slim Sign and Kev. It'll be close. Going through the final corner now. So plenty of action still to happen here.
This could have actually possibly been the best, sort of thing for him now, because
right there, that's Slim Sign and Kev. The pit lane here is a little bit in favor for Razy. He has the very inside line. No one can touch him there. Is he going to be able to get out in front of Slim Sign and Kev? He's right there. They come out side by side. Razy just slots right in the middle of the two teammates as if it's nothing. But I think on cold tires, he's going to give that up.
That is actually amazing strategy work from Razy. That is Mercedes level strategy work. Put that on.
That's the lap car of Mike there, sorry. But yes, so now we have 3 major fights going on. This is the battle for 4th. We don't know where Kieran 1 will slot out there. Alien will look to get 3rd. Jukebox has got in front of Peterbib there. And Marco's still fighting Joe there as well. So 3 fights, if only we had 3 screens. But alas, we only have 1 screen. Oh, Marcos again, Joe to the inside. Joe is putting on an absolute fantastic fight against Marcos. Is it too much in vain, though? No, Marcos backs out of it. I'm really surprised.
That was really clever from Joe, forcing Marcos.
Oh, Joe slows down. He might have a penalty here. Marcos. Yeah, Joe has a penalty, although Marcos ran wide again.
What was it that you said last lap?
I was surprised how it was taking this long for Marcos to get past him, but lo and behold, he's done it. Albeit taking a couple of track limits with him.
But now he has to keep it on the track over there. Somebody has retired.
It's Manic. Yeah, so unfortunate for Manic to drop out of the race so soon, but meanwhile, the battle for 4th place rolls into Slim Sign's favor as Razy has fallen off these guys, so Razy just not having that second stint pace. We've seen a lot of guys drop off in the second stint. Razy looks to be no exception.
I just said a little bit worse in the second stint. So. Jukebox actually in front of Peterbib now.
Yeah, he did manage to get that pass done, so Jukebox into 10th.
Peterbib just not letting him go though. He does have a half spin there.
Peterbib might be looking a little close on fuel himself. He was one of the earliest pit stops, so he's just trying to go to the end from when he pitted. I think he'll make it.
This is going to be close. If he's using the same fuel sort of aggressiveness as Chef, he will just about make it.
Meanwhile, Kieran 1 has yet to pit. he had less fuel than Razy.
This could actually become a three-way fight for a second.
You mean third?
No, second, because if Kieran ends up in... Oh wait, actually Aliens is gonna...
Yeah, Alien. Well, oh, that's gonna be
Maybe.
close. Alien has fallen pretty far from Kieran. Alien's only right here. He could pit and get out ahead of Alien. In fact, that's probably what's likely to happen. So Alien's kind of stepping up the pace a little bit. Ooh, meanwhile, Joe is actually still fighting with Marcos there. I believe, yeah, Marcos had a little bit of a mistake. This allowed Joe to come back into the fight. And it's Joe who takes a little bit of dirt there. Meanwhile, that Chef who has coming through both of these guys.
This could actually sort of be just about the worst time for...
Oh, and Marcos. Heavy on the brake there. So
just wanting to get Chef out of the way there so that...
Yeah, so Marcos just in 7th there. Still clashing with Joe just a little bit. So, positions still being fought all around the track. It's honestly very impressive. Although Marcos looked to maybe use Chef's slipstream to get away. Oh, as we have a car off in the back. Is that Razy? Or not Razy, what's that? Who was that? It was Peterbilt. Peterbilt was chasing Jukebox, so looks like he won't be able to catch back up now. But Jukebox now actually making a move, or not a move, but a run for Toby. We welcome you all to the final minutes of this race. The action has yet to calm down. Still not decided yet, as Kieran 1 has yet to pit. And I'm thinking, how much fuel does he have left? 4 liters. So Kieran will have to pit. Will he come out ahead of Alien is the question. Meanwhile, Slim Sign was falling back into Kevsonell's clutches just a little bit. Kev might be able to make a move not too soon, actually, if he keeps up the pace. So making some slight headway into Slim Sign's gap. But as you can see, Razy there, who's just fallen off the back of these two, so not sure how the pace is so slow from him, but alas, maybe it'll just be have to check after the race. Meanwhile, with just 6 minutes to go, oh, Marcos is off. He's off once again. And I'm surprised he hasn't turned that thing into a rally car yet. So that allows Joe Black ahead. So Joe Black now into 7th place, Marcos down to 8th. And if it took him this long to get ahead of Joe, I hate to imagine how long it's going to take him once again. Kieran still yet to pit. Will he hit this lap, I wonder? He's driven the thing practically empty. Still not yet. So Kieran definitely on the limit. Gonna drive the thing until it's practically empty. Meanwhile, back with Marcos still on his attempt to get back ahead of Joe. Slowly closing in that gap. Just a tiny bit, little by little. And meanwhile, Slim Sign, actually Slim Sign has fallen behind Kev, hasn't he? I just now noticed that. So something happened to Slim Sign, so now Kev is in the 4th place. So that's quite some championship implications there. Kieran 1, will he pit this time? Well, he has to pit. I really don't see him going another lap. But if it's taken him this long to pit, he's got to make sure it's on the money. Just 3 minutes to go. Alien is still in the corkscrew right now, so...
At this point, Kev will gain 3 points on that.
Right. Oh, this is going to be close. Alien is coming through the last corners now. He just needs maybe like 5 liters of fuel at most, and he's off and away. Kieran 1 will be ahead of Alien, so Kieran will stick in 2nd place. Alien sticks in 3rd. And Kev Sanel will stick into 4th place with Slim Sign behind him in 5th. Slim Sign again having a couple of issues there. He's fallen a little bit back to Razy, although Razy nowhere within passing range. So this is the closest battle on track between Joe and Marcos, the battle for 7th place. Marcos definitely is the key favorite to pass here, although consistency issues has made that flip-flop quite a lot. Well, we can't really say it's all been his fault. Maybe it's just karma for what happened earlier in the race. Because he did run Manic off at the very beginning of the race. So maybe this is just the game showing its displeasure with him. But whatever the case may be, we enter in the final parts of the lap, and Chef, he started this race in the lead, and he has ran away with it, the super sub himself. So, with Chef coming around the last few corners as it stands, he will start the final lap of the race on lap 42. So, with this in play, Marcos only has one last chance to get around Joe. So the question is, can Marcos make the last-ditch effort for 7th place? That is the question. They're really close, actually. And they are behind Chef, so this is his last chance. Marcos with a very heavy lockup. All the other positions have more or less been decided. Kieran's a little bit slow, but it looks like he will stay ahead of Alien, most likely. And here we go, Marcos looking. He's searching from Joe. The last chance that Marcos will get. He's got to do it, probably the corkscrew. Otherwise, Joe will make that car as wide as it possibly can, and indeed, Peter Viv cannot make it to the finish, so unfortunate for him there. Looks like he will not save enough fuel to go to the end. Might even lose 13th to Mike, it depends. But as it stands, Marcos, he's way too far away from Joe. And indeed, Chef has done it. He has completed the pole and the win. Oh, Marcos, a very late dive bomb attempt. Can't quite get the run. And Marcos also with a late race penalty. And you can see his displeasure there at the end. 1 second time penalty there. A decent effort, but not quite the way he would like to finish it. Kieran 1 will indeed finish second place after a really good effort from him and Alien as well. They managed to keep it on track and bring it to the end for a really good finish. Kevzinel will finish fourth, although likely be a stagnant championship run for him as he finishes just ahead of Slim Sign there in 5th place. Razy will finish 6th, just kind of lacked that late race pace that he was looking for. Joe Black, I think he'll be happy about 7th place. Marcos, the race that could have been, he finishes 8th. Toby had a couple of issues himself, he ends up 9th. Jukebox wasn't able to catch him, so he will finish 10th. Peter Bibb in 11th, Mike in 12th, and Manic, the only non-finisher of the race, in 13th place. And so there you have it. Oh, is your mic off?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Alright. So a very, very good race from all the drivers here today. Very entertaining. Full of constant action from start to finish. And ESR Chef is the man who takes it all home. So who would you say your driver of the day is?
I mean, ESR Chef not really driving these cars for the full season, so it's definitely him. Being able to pull minute gap.
Right. Oh, it's a tough one. Everyone performed really well today. It's difficult. I'm gonna have to give it to. This may seem like favoritism, but I think I'm gonna give it to Joe, just for his efforts there in holding off Marcos. But to be honest, a lot of drivers deserve driver of the day. Even those who maybe not got the best of finishes, they each drove a really incredible race today, and that's one I think we can give some claps to. So, but you can tell us who your driver of the day is in the chat. But from us here, I have been Cypher Knight 77.
I've been Dutch Muso.
And we hope you enjoyed this continued coverage of Gavra Racing's Radical Series. Next week we go to Zolder, is that correct?
Yes.
Alright then. So, next week we'll be going to Zolder in Belgium, and we'll see, well, these guys play around that track. It should be really interesting, and we'll see what happens. So, this has been us here at Gavra Racing. Good night, good day, and all that good stuff.